Greetings, everybody. Welcome to our podcast on Fridays. We're talking about relation slips and relationships on every Friday by God's grace at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I am your host, Denise Abraham. So I really appreciate each and every one of you being here. I've got a couple of my sisters that are going to be joining me on tonight talking about, listen, why are you still single? And a whole bunch of things, a whole bunch of aspects of being single. This particular theme is going to span over several weeks. So I'm asking if you all are excited about it as we are, join us, put your comments in the comment section. Please put your questions in the comment section, your testimonials, how you've gotten through while being single, because again, we want to make sure that your relationships turn into relationships and not relation slips. And if they are relation slips, then they get better over time and while you're learning to be better, because remember, we want your relationships to be productive and to grow and be in love and learning, all of that fun stuff. Okay. Yeah. But we are going to get down to the nit grit. And I tell you, we are going to just be honest about why are you still single? Why? We can also say, why you still married? We could. Yeah, we really could. But today we're going to talk about why are you still single? So come on, join us for this productive conversation on tonight. I want to say hello to my sister. How are you, sister?
Hey, how are you? Hello.
That was interesting. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. How are you, sister?
I'm great. I'm dynamic. How are you, Dr.
I'm
Abraham?
doing fantabulous for a Friday. You know,
Great.
as I always say, I'm yet holding on.
And we just keep on keeping on.
We just keep on keeping on. You know, my godmom, I have made her my godmom. I call her Mama Blessed, Mama Annette. She always says, when you holding on, just tie a knot and hold on a little bit tighter, baby. So that's what we're going to do. So you ready to talk about this? Why are you still single stuff?
Hey,
And
ready?
you ready?
We're ready.
So I'm going to tell you something. I got another sister I think is going to be joining us tonight. And I'm really excited about talking about this because I think there are so many things that affect a relationship for it to be catastrophic, chaos, or productive and growing and transformative. There's so many different aspects of relationships, whether it's with the opposite sex or the same sex, whether it's relationships on the job, relationships in the church, wherever those relationships are, there's so many aspects of it. And so we can't cover enough content about this. We've got years on top of years of content to talk about relationships. And so we chose tonight to talk about why are you still single? And there's so many facets to this. So I want to just throw one thing out first about being too picky. We talked about that earlier, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
About being too picky. So I got a question. And I got a question for our sisters and brothers out there. Why is it a big deal that your mate has to look a certain way? Do looks matter? Maybe that's the better question. Do looks matter as it relates to being picky? Do looks matter in a relationship?
Well, to answer your question, first of all, there's no one size fit all because type varies from person to person. Some men like heavy set women, some men like thinner women. And so depending on who you're with, but in a general sense, men tend to be more visual on average than women.
Really? You
And No. When I say into being more visual, shape wise, and all of those things, women, we have, you know, certain looks, certain things that we like as well. But men on average are more visual in terms
Right.
of when they're looking. See, there's a difference between looking, okay, for a woman looking at Chocolate Fantasy. You know,
Okay.
you always seen these brothers who can get a lot of sisters and, you know, whatever. And you look good in fantasy.
Ah,
You know what I'm saying? Or you look good to be with in fantasy. But
but not for
reality
long
is,
term.
if you look good, but then you the type of person who curses person out, or
Mm-hmm.
you angry all the time, then looks
Do matter.
do matter, because that's not, looks matter, but it's not the only things that matter. But let's
Not
deal
the
with the
only thing that
looks.
matters.
Right.
You know what?
Attract.
I got to jump in on this. I got to jump in
Yeah.
on this because, I think that, I hear you in saying that men, it's more physical sometimes. The woman has to look good on their arm, and, they have to have some
Right.
type of physical attraction. And I also think when people, and I've been this person too, to preach that love is blind, that preaches really, really well, to say love is blind. And then you get deep into that relationship and it's like, wait a minute, hold on. No, you have that person, you have to have some type of physical attraction. Doesn't mean they have to be the most handsome or the most
Right.
beautiful, but you see that whether you're man or woman
Right.
before
So
you get to know them, right? And but I have to throw this out there because some of my sisters sent in some questions and they talked about, but the man has to be 6'5", and they have to be this kind. What's wrong with the short brother?
okay,
That
so see, so you gauge the question. Um, we're talking about the, see, there's a difference when you overly superficial or
okay,
you
come on,
overly,
talk
now
about it.
don't get me wrong, all of us want, well, I can't say, but for the majority, tall, dark, and handsome. Yours
Right.
might be, um, you know, whatever, you know. So what happens is that when you're overly superficial, hey, if he, so you have a preference for 6'2", he got to be 6'2", right? But
Uh-huh.
if God sends him to you at 5'9", I mean at 6 feet rather, than
Uh-huh.
6'2", and you're like, he's not 6'2", so I don't want him at 6 feet. That's overly superficial. Just
It
like
is.
just like a woman. Now, we're having this conversation, but I want to make it clear it's no excuse for not taking care of yourself. When we talk about sizes or whatever, we're obligated to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, that's true.
However,
That's true.
if someone meets someone and their preference is, let's say, a 10, and that person goes up to a 20, that's a drastic difference to maybe their attraction. Now,
Okay,
if
hold
you're
up.
already attracted,
Look, you don't went to five.
so
Look,
that's when it'll make a difference. Go ahead,
hold up.
sister.
No. Hey, Chastity Hope,
Hello,
founder of Beautiful People Rise Up. What's up?
hello, beautiful ladies. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, sis?
Girl, we're
I'm
good.
good.
We're having a conversation.
I'm one of those 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". But I caught the end, but I will say you're absolutely right. Once you become mature, and you recognize like the beauty of a person, if they have what mind, body, spirit, soul, 2 inches shorter is not gonna hurt you. You understand? Now, if I was 21, I'd be like, look, I'm measuring. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Am I at his chest? I mean, I don't want to be taller than you. I'm not saying it's anything wrong with your height, but I just now at that in that season. But now for like, maturity, you understand after you go through life, you're going to meet different men with different characteristics, and you have to decide what's important to you. I think for myself, what's important is definitely spiritual. You got to be, we have to be able to align to be equally yoked. And that's the thing. If a person's not equally yoked with you, whether it's mentally, spiritually, or physically, then it's off. Some women are like, hey, he got the money, he has all the assets, he can get me into this place, this and that and that and this. If that's what you're going for, you might have a surprise on the spiritual side. So you're gonna be in hell anyway. So you got to
come on now.
You got to decide what it is that you really want. And
what do you want?
Mm-hmm. And I just want to conclude with this. I think friendship is foundational, and a lot of times you'll do things to people that you wouldn't do to a friend. So if you can establish a friendship, you get to see the deeper part of the person instead of just the exterior, going out, wine and dining, and that's cool. But what about the heart of the person, the mind, the will, imagination, and intellect? So if you can't tap into that, then it's superficial anyways.
Right. And superficial doesn't last.
Oh no, it's not lasting. No. It's gonna
but you know what? Y'all tried to move on. Look, Chastity, I appreciate you, sister. You just came in and gave us a whammy. I gotta rewind on this going from 10 to 20 thing. Okay, yeah. So
so
hold up. Wait a minute. Time out. Hold up. Let me say this for real. For real. I know what you're about to say, because you're just like, there's no excuse for us not taking care of ourselves. I'm gonna say this. I got to bring up Joseph. Joseph said to me, because of course he got this all fine body and all that, and I'm a little, I'm comfortable in my skin.
You're wonderful.
I'm a voluptuous pescatarian. Yes, I am. That would be me. So listen, he talking about I'm looking at him all the time. His little 6-pack, whatever, 8-pack, whatever it is. And I'm like, man, I got to get in the gym. And I keep looking at the gym, and I'm not getting this in the other room. I'm not getting in there. And I'm like, okay. He's like, babe, if you have no teeth and you have one eye and you have, I'm like, and you're 50 pounds, I still love you. I said, boy, bye.
He's serious though. No, listen, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you have a man who loves you no matter what.
Huh?
You have a man who loves you no matter what. Okay. And whether you 50 pounds, he's not a superficial individual. Mm-hmm. You have a spiritual, and you're an attractive woman.
That's what Chastity's talking about, the spiritual side. Yep. Okay.
The spiritual side, you have more, it's beyond the physical. And you all that in a bag of chips anyway.
Hey, now.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is some people, and we were talking about men, some people, a woman, when she get her heart broken or whatever, she'll adjust a little bit.
Yeah, that is true.
She might say, okay, like my students used to say, okay, I used to go, the Ugmos be acting up too. But they say, I used to go for this and that, the body or whatever. But what happens is that when you meet a person who's a 6-pack, like your husband don't have, he likes you. He obviously likes heavy set women. He likes beautiful women. You're beautiful. Thick. Doesn't matter. You met a person who likes you as is. So it doesn't matter. But if you're dealing with a brother who has shape preferences, for example, he don't date somebody, and I know people like this, Chastity, you can help me out here. There's some men, they feel like I take good care of myself.
I need her to take good care.
I've been in your category where I was with somebody who was a 6-pack. And as long as I kept myself healthy, you understand? He was busy. You better not lose 50 pounds.
But you know what? Let's talk about this, though, because we need to shift a little bit. Let's shift a little bit. Okay. Are you being, what should we be? Okay. Why are we still, I'll raise my hand first. If we can keep it brief, why was I single for a long time? I was single for a long time because my defenses were up. Okay. I had been hurt really bad. and I was just over it. That was one reason. I was also single for a while because I didn't want, it's a spiritual thing for me. I didn't want to get into the same old boat of, offering myself to someone, giving them all of me, and them not giving me all of them as it relates to their relationship with God. I didn't want to go through that anymore. And so I truly turned it over to God and was like, look, you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to do something, Daddy, because I don't know if I'm supposed to find my man in heaven or here, because it ain't looking like it's here, And so I was single for a long time because of that. And I almost did not get back into a relationship. So I'm shifting it. Was I too picky? Was I looking for the wrong things? Did I write too much on my list? And was I not compromising on the right things? Because one person told me, well, Denise, you want to look at a man's teeth and you want to look at all of those things and you can fix his teeth. And I was like, you're right. But there's just certain things I'm not really wanting to invest in. And that's quite like my choice. This teeth is not the most important thing to me, even though I look at it. The most important thing that he's God-fearing. And so it's hard to find a God-fearing, for me at the time, God-fearing, handsome. I was looking for handsome. It had to be, attractive first. For me, I wanted to see some attractiveness before I got to know you, because you could have been attractive and then been a horrible person too, right? Mm-hmm. So it was just so many different things for me. What about y'all?
I think for me, and I can say there were definitely seasons where I was definitely picky. You have to be honest. And you want what you want when you want it, or how you want it, right? Mm-hmm. And I began to see, and sometimes some of those men, I hung out with, and I'm like, whoa, okay, well, he's hit, but his heart isn't right. I mean, you start seeing this thing you like, but then you didn't like this. So then, okay, maybe I'm not feeling him. So it's not that trait. It used to be tall, dark, and handsome, bald, real black is black, right? But I got to the
black and the black.
The burnt black. And with the bright white teeth too, I'm like, oh. But that's not.
God, I'm sorry.
So I had to learn that you have to decide what you want, but then you got to make sure you are those things too, because sometimes we can put demands on people, but we're not those things. So
come on, girl.
You say you want him to be this, and this. If you're not a millionaire, then why are you trying to tell? But I know you want some money, girl. I'm not.
Yeah,
Kanye,
yeah.
Ain't messing with no broke.
No broke, but black and black.
Right. Well, she ain't messing, but I'm just saying I ain't messing with no broke. Well, I used to try to save and help and build, and come on, we can't. Not no more. You better have it together. I'm potential. Potential is like you pose. So I need 10.
Oh,
10.
Oh gosh.
10.
Do
it. Don't come on. Don't be no 3. Don't be no 3. Don't play.
I gotta stop her again. Okay, I need these ladies to say something. What the ladies? Come on! Before I go to Pastor Pearl, I need the ladies to say something right now. I need to hear y'all this potential thing. I want to hear about this. Now, are we too picky? Uh-huh. I'm just asking because I've been on both sides of this equation. Are we too picky when we're looking for them to have a 5-bedroom house, a Porsche? Wait, Porsche is 1970s. Maybe a 70s.
No, Porsche is still hot, honey. They got.
Okay.
I'm looking at all that. I'm looking.
Okay. They got some properties. They got some Airbnbs. They on that tip. They traveling once or twice a year. Do we got to have all that? I'm just asking.
No, I don't. I think it could be. It depends on your age bracket. Once you get to a certain level of maturity, you can't. I don't want to be your mama. I don't want to raise you. I mean, I'll be your cheerleader all the time, but you got to be able to. How can I follow you, or are you following me? Like,
are you followable?
Yeah.
Are you followable?
Am I?
No. Oh no. I'm talking about them.
I asked the question.
Pastor Pearl, tell Chastity they didn't show up to get on here, so I'm not talking to the men. I'm talking to the sisters right now.
Okay.
To talk to the men, are they followable? Because 4 of them were supposed to be on here again tonight, and they didn't hold their commitments again.
Yeah. Even if I met some, even if you got the money and you're fine and you this and that, if you're not following the Most High, I'm talking about Yahweh and Yeshua,
Come on.
For me, you're not
Elohim.
followable.
El
You get what-
Shaddai.
I cannot follow you because see, I don't know what your rules are. So you making up your rules along the way. Who are you accountable to? So I can't be, and you know, when you feel like you're going to the left and then I'm to the left just because you the man and you the head and I'm supposed to follow you.
Yeah,
Who
no.
are you following you? Who are you following? And if you can't define that for me, then I don't feel like I'm in a safe space. Because when you're off track, then we can point back to the word and say, well, hey, you know, how are you doing this when it should be that? Okay, can you make some corrections and some? But if they make their own rules, then honey, baby, you don't know what
honey, baby.
Yeah,
honey. Kayla, did you hear honey, baby?
Honey, baby, you don't know if he gonna lead you into a ditch. You don't know what. Take all your stuff.
Can you please talk to me? Can I get a? Can somebody give me a why?
Oh, why?
Give me a why. Why? You got your why. You got your why. Give me an E. E. You got your E. You got your E. Give me an S. S. You got your S. You got your S. What does that spell? Yes. Am I being too picky? Yes.
Yes. But you know what? But you have to be, because you'll get yourself, you know, you got to stand for something or you're going to fall for everything.
Everything.
What do you want? You know, you have to decide. We all have different needs, different wants, different desires. So too picky to somebody else may not be picky to me.
Right.
You know, it's all personal.
Yeah.
You know, it's all personal. Yeah. Like if you want someone that looks a certain way, I know it doesn't matter how beautiful you may be. Some men, they want light skin, long hair. That's it. It don't matter how nice you are, how cool you are, all of these different things. And guess what? That's their preference. If that's what they like, that's what they like. Because if you try to get with them, they're going to mistreat you anyways because it's not what they want.
It's not. And listen, if that's really what they want, Pastor Pearl, I know you about to say something. You got to cut us off because I'm going to be cutting y'all off. Y'all know how we work. But let me say this. You know I'm going to cut you off. It's a cut off in love. But let me just say this real quick. Like, if looks really mattered, why everybody breaking up and cross dating and all of that in Hollywood? Can someone explain that to me? Yeah. I mean, in Hollywood, I'm just saying, that's not my nickname, but that don't mean I got to do all that. What I'm saying is everybody got to get the lifts and the cuts and the tucks and all them things. And then they look like these Barbie dolls, and the men do too, look like Ken and Barbie. Okay. And then they're still breaking up and they got all the money in the world. So it makes you think about that.
Well, one of the things is that it goes back to something Chastity said. You can have all of that. Mm-hmm. But if you messed up inside, if you haven't healed things inside, if you haven't tapped into sometimes you know that saying, it's not my mother, it's not my father, but it's me, oh Lord.
Woo, come on now.
Sometimes God is calling you to clean us up. Sometimes God is coming to check you.
Wow.
You know, sometimes people are just single because they need to clean themselves up. They need to be single to just do you.
Girl.
Yes, I got to do me. One of the reasons why I was single, you know, because again, I shared this with you in all transparency, because I was in ministry. It took me so long to get into the woman as Pastor Pearl. I'm a woman, Pearl Ale.
Yes, you are, dear.
You know, so if somebody try to step to you or talking to you, you always have this facade up. Like, you know, I was in ministry. I had a reputation. You understand what I'm saying? Those kinds of things. And I told you, you know, I'm from New York. And so when you pull me,
but a good old red lip is very positive and popular.
Right. And then, you know, them church mothers, they like, you know, honey, that red Jezebel lipstick, you ain't got to go.
Look at Chastity.
so you know, so when you are in that bubble, and you don't understand that you have to learn how to talk.
Yeah.
You can be as attractive, but if somebody trying to kick it with you, you can't be quoting scriptures. Not saying I was that person.
Hey, yes, you were.
But you have to have a balance. of sex appeal as a woman.
She was saying, I can do all things, my brother, through
No,
Christ
but I'm
who
saying
strengthens me.
sex appeal as a woman. Stop fronting like you don't want love, you don't want intimacy. You know, it's all about the whole, it's all about Jesus.
It is
You
all
have
about
that
Jesus.
side. It is. But I'm talking about when he's trying to break
I'm giving you a hard time.
in. He's trying to break you in and do something in your life as far as bringing you the right person. And you fronting like you.
You so holy, you ain't no earthly good.
But what happened is that
like that in the bedroom with your husband, okay?
Right. But so what happened is that you always, oh man, this person looking at me. If I do this, I do that. I can't, so I had all that stuff that I put on myself that I had to shake loose.
Wow.
You know what I mean? You have to know what you want, what you need, and you have to speak it, and you also have to be vulnerable,
Yeah.
So
I gotta throw something at y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So Satan knows, I know you're gonna jump at this one. Satan knows, okay, because we know how he operates. We've seen how he comes in to destroy and kill and devour and all that. And he knows if he can keep us as women from thinking royalty, right? Then we will stop acting royalty. We won't even begin to act like royalty, right? And so that's a question I have for the ladies. Why have we dumbed down? And I've had this conversation with my sister Chastity a lot. Why have we dumbed down our value so much? Why? I mean, so to the point where we just accept anything. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying next, because sometimes we're looking we're looking too hard, right? Or we're not open enough, right, to receive, okay? But then once it comes, we say, okay, wait a minute. And Chastity and we had this conversation real good because I've been in this place so many times where we open up so much that when we allow these really handsome individuals to come in, they're well-to-do, right? And then we're like, wait a minute, this is the one. And then they turn out to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And sometimes we hang in there because they're the one. They look like the one. Okay. He got to be tall, dark. Why is tall, dark, and handsome always single?
Well,
something to think about.
Now, for me,
royalty. Start with royalty.
Royalty. I think once you know who you are and whose you are not going to dumb yourself down.
Come on.
You're not going to compromise. And so a lot of times I think people have been single and it's like you try to put yourself in the path of being noticed. I made a decision. I'm trying to hide now.
I love it.
And
y'all ain't no joke, ladies.
Because if we stay true to the word, it says a man who findeth a wife findeth a good thing. We are to be found. Yes. We are the diamonds. And when you take yourself out of the showcase, when you go to the mall or you go to a diamond store, it's sitting in the glass and it's just sparkling, and different ones catch your eye.
Come on.
If you just shine where you are, be who God has called you to be, and you just do you, and when I say do you, living within your passion and your purpose, then you'll be noticed. You don't want everybody to notice you. That's just
Come on now.
Sometimes we put ourselves out to be seen. You stay hidden because the one that's supposed to find you, he's willing to dig. He's willing to work. He's willing to sow, and he's willing to give. It's not you doing all the work trying to get his attention and try to prove that you valuable. You show all your gifts and talents. You want to act like a wife when you just are dating.
Come on now.
I'm not your wife. No, so I'm not going to do things that a wife should do. I'm not even dating you. I'm trying to be a friend. So why are you trying to take it to the extreme when you haven't earned that position?
Come on. And that's why I'm still single.
Can I
preach like I wanna?
Yes.
Can I get an amen?
Can I get
a hallelujah?
Yes.
Hallelujah. No, we have to decide that we are valuable. Women,
speak, sister.
You don't want every man to notice you. You don't want every man to chase you. That's problems. That is problems upon problems. You want someone that is for you. And I prayed this prayer before, and I said, Lord, just hide me until you have the one that's for me. you know, because I need to be protected from hurt, harm, or danger, because it's a lot of sick people. And I
There
mean,
are.
in the heart and in the mind.
In the
And
heart and in the mind. Wow.
and they're just on this continuum of being reckless, because they're jumping from person to person, and they're carrying this baggage, and they have perverted minds. I've been in contact with people.
Wow.
So I mean, I'm like, man, this guy, he seemed to have had it all. It's like, whoa, this is wow. And you think it's a possibility, and then out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Come on now.
I'll start speaking some craziness, and you just like,
you talking today.
It don't even lie. So do you keep going with that because you don't want to be single? Are you gonna roll with that? And you know that's not right for you?
And you know what that is, right?
What
That a lot of times that's coming from our low self-esteem. I think I heard Pastor Pearl earlier say, take care of yourself first. We have to take care of ourselves first. Sometimes we use that as some kind of loose cliche. We just want to say it to be saying it. But you're right. We allow these things, Sister Chastity, Minister Chastity, because sometimes of our lowest self-esteem. Sometimes we got a fear of competition. Sometimes we got our defenses up. Sometimes it's how we were raised. We got to like wipe that whole slate clean. And I'm going to say it right here. Fix your circle. If you're around a circle of women that can't say no to a man, you're around a circle of friends or acquaintances, or your ride or die that, you know, just allow you to date anybody and do anything, and they don't even say nothing, or, you know, have you feel convicted about something, then maybe it's time to adjust that circle. Also, you know, a lot of times we hang around those individuals who are doing overly secular things, okay? Things that compromise and show everything up front, right? Instead of us having some dignity and some self-esteem and some confidence and some royalty about ourselves, right? And so I want to just challenge all the women out there tonight, those that are single, been there, done that. And I wasn't always acting or thinking royal. I'm just going to be real, okay? You know, it took a little years, a little mileage on a sister to kind of figure it out halfway. But I want to challenge the sisters out there tonight that are single. You've heard a lot from Pastor Pearl. You've heard a lot from Sister Chastity. You've heard a lot from me as well. We want to hear from you, and we want to hear from you about how you've taken a whole nother level step up of royalty in your game, of making sure that you are picky, that you are particular about, you know who the man is that God has sent for you, and he's coming. He's on the way. So you don't have to dumb things down. You don't have to, yes, and be hidden. I like what my sister said about being hidden. You don't want to be out there for everybody to see. You're not for everybody. Like she said, you're in that, you're that diamond that has to be brought out to be viewed, and it's a perfect quality, that perfected quality. How about that? Perfected quality. Mm-hmm. All right. So I pray that you've heard something tonight that just gets you excited. And before we close out, okay, I'm going to go around the horn one more time if there's anything else we want to say, because we don't want to stay on here all night, although we could, okay, talking about this. But this Why Are You Single is going to go for a long time, okay? It's going to go for a few more weeks, actually. All right, and we are still coming back to why men don't cheat. We're coming back to that. Don't think we forgot, okay? All right, so let's let our ladies say one more thing. Pastor Pearl, you got anything to share with the ladies before we leave, and the men, about why are they still single?
Well, I just have this to say. Why you're still single, why we are still single, is because God is working on us, and everybody can't afford you. When you get expensive, when you're working in purpose, it's time consuming. So you have to wean out who is for you and who's not. Wow. And so when you get, and sometimes he has to pull off layers. I said this before, a lot of times people are not waiting, and it's hard. I'm not going to sit up here and lie and say it's easy.
Talk about it, sis.
Sometimes it's hard because it's depending on how physical you were before you got saved, or how physical you were before you became celibate. Now, God is a keeper. We understand that. It's a lot of work that you have to do on yourself. And so sometimes he have us in this position, work on you. But it's a lot of times the thing that makes it difficult is the physical intimacy. of having another person in your life.
Wow.
But God always proves that I'll be your husband. I'll be that person.
Woo, come on now.
Comes along, because when you get proximate with him and clean up yourself, I'm messed up in these areas. I'm not
clean up yourself.
I need you. And then that's when the process begins.
Wow. Come on now. Talk about
I feel my help coming.
Can my sister get an amen?
Amen.
What you got for us, Chastity Hope?
Yes. You know what? When you ask that question, I'm like, okay, what can I say? The word that came to my mind was opportunities. When you are single, you have opportunities, so many things available to you. And the biggest thing is perfecting self. You should always be in the state of becoming. Whatever your dream, your vision, your goal,
love it.
Whatever those things are, this is the time to pursue it. Not to focus on anything outside of you, because if you're busy, then you're running your race. And a lot of times what I found is, well, let me say this because I'm a backtrack.
Bring it on.
My vision is always whoever I'm with in this season of my life, I want to be a power couple. See, I'm already powered by myself. So I can't be with somebody that's not going to help elevate me and me elevate them also. Like we're moving upward. We change our trajectory together.
Yes, that's right.
So a lot of times, we're looking and searching for something that we shouldn't look and search for. And how do you know that the person that you want is on the side of you accomplishing your goals, your dreams, and your vision? Because maybe the people that you're around right now, they may not be able to level up to where you're going to be, not where you are right now, but where you're going to be.
Come on.
So I just on your race and be the best that you can be where you are being a single person, and just don't focus on that. And you may be surprised your Boaz might be showing up, noticing every move that you're making. So I say stay encouraged, stay motivated, stay focused, and do you, and don't worry about somebody choosing you. You're already chosen.
You already chosen, girl. Wow.
Yeah.
Get my two-step
You're already chosen.
You already chosen.
You're already a girl.
It's you. Hey, me and my girl, we are chosen.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Wow. I'm levitating right now. And y'all Christian folks, don't take that all wrong. I'm super excited about what I'm hearing tonight. Yeah, I'm about to go there. Right. I get so many messages every other day about, you said this word and that. Oh my gosh, lady, lighten up a little bit. Live a lot. Laugh a few minutes. But anyway, this has been really good stuff. I mean, great stuff. Minister Kaylee Wright she's like the younger version of me, and I'm the older version of her. I love that sister. She is on just super giving kudos to everyone. And she's really enjoying the content on tonight. And let me tell you, that sister right there, she is the thermometer. She is the thermostat. She gonna look and listen. If it ain't right, she gonna tell you it ain't right. And she's getting a lot from this, and I know she's gonna share it as well with her sister girls. And we just need to bind together, right? We just need to bind together and continue to uplift each other. You've heard a lot of uplifting things tonight. I want to leave you with this: you are not single and alone. You are not single and alone. There are some sisters out there and some brothers. They ain't show up tonight, but they there.
No shows.
I know I'm a little salty about every time they say they're coming and they don't come. So before I say that, any brothers out there that want to be on this Pay It Forward panels, we talk about relationships and getting this thing better, being single or dating or engaged or married or even if you've gotten divorced, and we want to talk about some things. I ask you to come on in, please, brothers. We want to hear your perspective. My grandbaby is falling asleep, y'all. She done fell asleep on me. We want to hear your perspective. We want to hear your perspective. So please, 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 please come on in. I have to lay my baby down and check us out and be in the backstage of our, not backstage, but the front stage of our podcast so we can have the conversation and just be honest about it. Okay. Just be honest about it. So I want to thank everybody for coming in on tonight. I see a lot of comments coming in. We will continue to place those comments up. And the last thing I want to say to everybody, please join us every single Friday, by God's grace, at 8:30 p.m. We are super excited to have Pastor Pearl Hale here from the Pearl Hale Show, and also have Chastity Hope Wright from Beautiful People Rise Up. These sisters took time out of their night to come on in and share some things with you on tonight. And so share. And if you are ready to be on TV, and it's not just internet TV. If I hear one more person say it's just internet TV, I'm gonna lose my mind. If you got the duckies, we got the stations for you, okay? I just want you to know, if you got the duckies, we got the stations for you, okay? So you want to be on Comcast and cable, and you got that moolah, let's come on with it. You want to be on the local channel, Atlanta, that nobody watches, we got that channel for you too. You want to be on internet TV, we got that channel for you too. But there are millions watching right here on Empowered Woman Worldwide TV Network, and we're going to make sure that we advertise your show so that you are getting your product, your service, and your message that only God has given you to the world. So join us every Friday. I love y'all, sisters. Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
Godspeed, God bless. And thank you, Minister Kaylee Wright, for all your comments. We appreciate you, sister. And y'all have a great, magnificent night.